I am an atheist and I am not in the habit of going to church. Influenced by my family, I had no interest in any religion. However, the unthinkable happened to me. I had a cough for the last few years whenever I had a fall cough that would last until spring. One year in the fall, I started coughing again. I went to a local clinic for treatment, as I had done before. I came to the clinic after dinner. The doctor told me the medicine I was using before was out of stock. They needed to use a new batch of medicine. They first did a skin test on me. The test came back positive. A red spot appeared on my skin. I hesitated for a few minutes and then asked the doctor, "Is it normal to have such a reaction?" The doctor thought for a moment and then replied, "You have been treated with penicillin a few days ago, there should be no problem." I believed what the doctor said. Then I went into the ward and lay down on a bed. A nurse hooked me up to N4 and left to tend to other patients. A short time later, there was a piercing sound in my ears, like a train passing in front of me. Suddenly, I fell into a dark tunnel. I felt very apprehensive. I asked myself, what's happening to me? I wanted to stop, but I went forward uncontrollably and could not turn back. I shouted frantically, and no one answered me. I knew I had entered another dimension, and I realized it was not a dream. I knew there was an allergic reaction to the penicillin. I experienced panic, felt scared and desperate. I was floating in this endless tunnel. I knew my body was still in bed, but I couldn't go back to bed. Is this death? If so, why was my mind perfectly clear? I didn't disappear either. I felt no pain. I hovered in the air like a feather and felt very comfortable. There seemed to be a force guiding me. They affirmed my answers and removed my confusion. I don't know how to describe them. They had no voice or entity, but were full of kindness and light. They answered all my questions. I felt myself enveloped by the sunshine of spring. They were beings of higher wisdom than humans. I call them prophets. And they communicated with me telepathically. Revealing the true nature of the universe, the purpose of life, and opening the door to death, they showed me another dimension. Instantly, I left the dark tunnel. I appeared in a bright, warm world. I was completely liberated, no longer in pain, but in its place in eternal bliss. My soul asked one question after another about life and death. Wherever my consciousness went, I received answers. This world is made of particles. When particles accumulate, they form a concrete image. And in this realm, anything is formed by a bunch of particles that are forever drifting and cycling. Am I also a particle? Yes, the human body is made up of countless particles. They are constantly circulating, and they are all part of the movement. And your spirit exists independently, which is your present state. You can see everything in the physical world. People on earth do not feel your presence, and your loved ones have no way to understand it. Because your family does not understand what real death is. They would feel sad. It was then that I began to worry about my parents. I wondered if they knew I was dead. I knew they would be very sad. All these worries flashed through my mind. I suddenly felt my head spinning, and finally, I went into my body. When I opened my eyes and sat up, I started vomiting nonstop. He was silent when I told him what I had been through in the last 4 hours, and his face turned pale as he listened to my words. I think he felt very scared. He stayed in my room with me all night. I didn't blame my doctor at all. It was because of his mistake that I had this experience. I have a new understanding of the world. I no longer feel fearful about death, and I have a new understanding of the meaning of life.